Assalamualaikum dear students, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. So our today's lesson is about the Gauss elimination and Gauss-Jordan method. It means if we have a set of non-homogeneous linear equations and we have to find its solution, we can use either Gauss elimination or Gauss-Jordan method. The answer will remain unaffected. So Gauss elimination method uses echelon form and Gauss-Jordan method uses reduced echelon form. It means if we have a set of non-homogeneous linear equation and we have to find its solution using Gauss elimination method, we will reduce the matrix to echelon form. And if we have to find a solution using Gauss-Jordan method, we will reduce the matrix to reduced echelon form. So first we will solve this question by using Gauss elimination method, which uses echelon form. So what are the rules of a matrix to be in echelon form? Let's take a look at our previous lecture. Number 1 says a matrix A whose order is m cross n is said to be in echelon form if it satisfies property number 1. All rows consisting of 0 only, if exist, appear below all non-zero rows. It means we suppose this is a non-zero row, this is a non-zero row, and this row is appeared at the bottom. So this is property number 1. Let's move towards property number 2. So property number 2 says the first non-zero, which is also called leading element in each row, is 1. What does it mean? It means if we have a matrix and it has the entries 1, -1, 2, -3, then we have 0, 1, -1, 3, and we suppose we have 0, 0, 1 and -1. So it says the first non-zero leading element in each row is 1. This is the first non-zero and leading element and its value is 1. See here, this is a 0 element. This is non-zero element, first non-zero element in the row, and its value is 1. Moving towards the next one, this is a 0, this is a 0, this is first non-zero leading element and this is 1. So for the matrix to be in echelon form, this is a necessary condition that all the first non-zero, it means leading elements in each row, should be 1. Moving towards the last property. Okay, property number 3 says number of zeros occurring before the first non-zero element in each non-zero row is greater than the number of such zeros that appear in any preceding row. It means the number of zeros occurring, this is the number of zeros occurring before the first non-zero element. We suppose this is first non-zero element and it has a 0 before it. So the number of 0 in each row, in each non-zero row, is greater than the number of such zeros that appear in any preceding row. It means if this row has 1 0 before the first non-zero element, the other row will have more number of zeros than this preceding row. As you can see, this row has 1 0 and this row has 2 0. So we can say that this row has more number of zeros than the preceding. Now let's take an example and of reduced. So these were the rules of a matrix to be in echelon form. So starting our first question, if you want to see the complete video of echelon form and reduced echelon form, I have dropped the link in the description box. You can watch my previous videos for the better understanding. So let's start question number 1. We have these set of non-homogeneous linear equation. So first we will write it in matrix form. This is we have 1, 3, 2, then we have 4, 5 minus 3, then we have a 3 minus 2, this is 17. Then we have a colon sign and we will write the constants 3 minus 3 and 42. Okay, the second step is that we have to make 0 at this position. So how we will do it? Very simple. This is 4 and this is 1. To make 0 here, it means we have to bring a change in R2. So first we will write R2 plus we will multiply minus 4 with row 1. So in this way we will get 0 at this position. Let's check out. We have R2 4, 5 minus 3 minus 3 and multiplying minus 4 with this row 1. We have minus 4 1 times is minus 4, minus 4 3 times is minus 12, minus 4 2 times is minus 8, minus 4 3 times is minus 12. So adding them we have 0, 5 minus 12 minus 7, minus 3 minus 8 minus 11, minus 3 minus 12 minus 15. So this is now R2. 0, minus 7, minus 11 and minus 15. The other two rows will be written in the same way. 1, 3, 2, 3. This is 3 minus 2, 17 and 42. In the next step, we will make 0 at this position of 3. So how we will do it? R3 plus, now we will multiply minus 3 with row 1. This is we have row 1 and we will multiply minus 3 with it. So we will get R3 is 3 minus 2, 17 and 42 and multiplying minus 3 with row 1. We have minus 3, minus 9, minus 6 and minus 9. So now we have to add them. This is 0, minus 2 minus 9, minus 11, 17 minus 6. This is positive 11 and 42 minus 9. This is equals to 33. So this is row 3, 0, minus 11, 11 and 33. The other two rows will be unaltered. Minus 15 and first row is 1, 3, 2 and this is 3. Okay, next we have to make 1 at this position, but for this purpose we will interchange R3 and R2. I will tell you the reason. 1, 3, 2 and this is 3. Then R3, 0 minus 11, this is 11 and 33. This is 0 minus 7 minus 11 and minus 15. Right? We have interchanged these two rows because when we will divide this row by minus 11, we will get 1, 1 and 3. But if we remain this row 2 at its own position, then when we will divide by minus 7 in order to get 1, then these two terms will be reduced to fraction terms. We will not get any fraction term. As you can see, now we have to make 1 at this position. So what we will do? We will multiply row 2 by minus 1 over 11 with this row 2. So row 2 is 0, minus 11, 11 and 33. When we will multiply with minus 1 over 11, so we will get 1. Similarly, here we will get minus 1, and when we will multiply 33 with 1 over 11, we will get minus 3. This is row 2, 0, 1, minus 1 and minus 3. R1 is 1, 3, 2, 3 and R3 is 0, minus 7, minus 11 and minus 15. So in this way we don't get any fraction form. But if this row would be at this position, and when we divide the row by minus 7 and when we multiply the row with 1 over minus 7, we will get fraction in these two terms. Next, what we have to do is to make 0 at this position following the rules of echelon form. Okay, so to make 0 at this position, what we will do is R3 plus 7 times R2. R3 is 0, minus 7, minus 11, minus 15. Multiply 7 with row 2. We have 0. Then 7, 1 times is 7. 7 minus 1 times is minus 7, and 7 3 times is 21. Now we will add them. 0, 0, minus 18, and this is we have. So this is we have the third row. I have written the third row. The other two rows will be written as it is. Now we have to make 1 at this position. For this purpose we will multiply row 3 with 1 over 18, minus 1 over 18. So 0 multiplied with minus 1 over 18, 0, again 0, minus 18 when multiplied with minus 1 over 18, we will get 1, and minus 36 when multiplied with minus 1 over 18, we will get 2. So now we will check whether this matrix is in echelon form or not. So for the echelon form, all the leading entries should be 1. If we have a 0 at this position in row 2, the other row should have more than this number of 0. This is we have 1 0, here we have 2 zeros. So second condition is satisfied. Third condition is if we have a row which is all the way 0, it must exist at the bottom, but we don't have any such row. So all the conditions are satisfied. Now we have to find the solution. We can write it as x1 plus 3x2 plus 2x3 is equals to 3. In the same way, when we have equation and we write its matrix form. Now we have a matrix and we are writing its equation form. This is 0x1 and we have simple x2 minus x3. This is equals to minus 3. And this is we have x3 which is equals to 2. So now we have to find the value of x1, x2 and x3. Let me label this equation as 1, 2 and 3. So x2, x3 is equals to 2. Put this equation number 3 in 2. This means x2 minus the value of x3 is 2. This is equals to minus 3, which means x2 is equals to minus 3 plus 2. So x2 is equals to minus 1. x3 is 2, x2 is minus 1. x2 is minus 1. Now one equation is remaining and we will find the value of x1. x1 plus 3 times x2 which is minus 1 plus 2 times x3 which is 2. This is equals to 3. So x1 minus 3 plus 4, this is equals to 3, which means x1 plus 1 minus 3 plus 4, this is 1, is equals to 3. This implies x1 is equals to 3 minus 1, 2. So x1 is equals to 2. Solution set would be x1, x2 and x3, which means x1 is 2, x2 is minus 1 and x3 is 2. So this is how we reduced an equation by using Gauss elimination method. Now we have to find a solution of the same set of non-homogeneous linear equation using Gauss-Jordan method. It means now we will reduce the matrix to reduced echelon form. So first have a look at the rules of reduced echelon form. So rule number 1 is an m by n matrix A is said to be in reduced echelon form if rule number 1 is matrix is in echelon form. For the matrix to be in reduced echelon form, it is necessary that the matrix should be in echelon form first. And what is the echelon form of a matrix? I have made a complete video regarding this topic in which there are rules and examples. You can watch that video for better understanding. For this lecture, we will restrict to reduced echelon form only. And the second rule says the leading entry in each row must be the only non-zero number in its column. Example of same matrix which we have reduced already to echelon form, because reduced echelon form has two rules. The matrix should be in echelon form, so we have already done this part. The second rule says, it says each leading entry in the row should be the only non-zero element in that column. Here this is a row and in its column this is the only non-zero element. Let's look at this row. Second row, this is 1, but this is not the only non-zero element in its column. There is 3 also. So we have to make 0 at this position. So how we will do it? So operation will be R1 plus minus 3 times R2. R1 is this matrix and multiplying minus 3 with row 2. We have 0 3 times is 0, 3 1 times is 3, 3 1 times is 3 and 3 3 times is 9. So we have 1, 0, this is 5 and this is 12. 1, 0, 5, 12. The other two rows are 0, 1, minus 1, minus 3, 0, 0, 1 and this is 2. Now we are done with row 2. Now this is row 3 and this is the leading element. It should be the only non-zero element in its column, but we have these two non-zero element as well. So we will reduce both of them to 0. First we will reduce this minus 1 to 0. How we will do it? R2 plus R3. R2 is 0, 1, minus 1, minus 3 and R3 is 0, 0, 1 and 2. So adding them we have 0, 1, 0 and this is minus 1. R1 is 1, 0, 5, 12, 0, 0, 1 and 2. Now here it should be 0. So we will use the operation R1, this is R1 plus minus 5 times R3. So two rows will be written as it is. Now the matrix is in reduced echelon form because the matrix is already in echelon form and each leading element in the row is the only non-zero element in that column. Now we have to find the value of x1, x2 and x3. So this is the only value x1 which is equals to 2. x2 and x3 are 0. Then this is x2 which is equals to minus 1 and this is x3 which is equals to 2. So we have got the direct solution x1, x2 and x3. So the solution set is 2, minus 1 and 2, which is same which we got when we solved the matrix using Gauss elimination method. So this is how we find the solution of a non-homogeneous linear equation using Gauss-Jordan and Gauss elimination method. So I hope you like this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Also give your feedback in the comment section below. Our next lecture would be how to solve the non-homogeneous linear equations using Cramer's rule. So stay tuned and take care. Thank you very much.